We'll see how they look as we get into our first map of Anubis. Big on the T side, Cloud9s will be your CTs for this one.
Yeah, Big's map pick, and a map that Cloud9 have not been tested on much recently. They haven't played this map in over 2 months. So we'll see if Big's punish can pay off for them as they start to move up towards mid.
Okay. Bit of an early stab in the dark as they are trying to command respect early. Dink onto Nafany, leaving him barely alive with 3 HP. And this is a lot of map control you've been able to steal. Smoke goes down to block off the A side, but they can really play with this Hawker. You've got the flank opportunity.
Yeah, definitely something to work with here. Nafany tries to just tuck all the way back, but he's so low on health. tabseN, will he clear the corner? He doesn't. Nafany takes 2 in quick succession.
Oh my. Man's on 3 HP, but he's gotten himself 2 kills on the pistol, and Axel might want to do something a little bit ill here as well. Swings out onto Hyped, tagging down the second man. 2 for 2. As they all clean up together. A nice bundle of frags to claim the initial pistol round versus Big.
Yeah, and something we have talked about is that Cloud9 have got off to a lot of slow starts in this tournament. They've had a lot of maps where they've been down 5 rounds early, maybe even more than that. Well, no slow start here in this one. A clean pistol, and I think you can see tabseN maybe not expecting Nafany to be able to get away with 2 kills from his position, but that's what got them off to the strong start. And Cloud9 will have to deal with a force buy, but they're in a good position here.
Keto, he's got 2 22s in his shoes, and he wanted to put them to good use. But he was spotted out by Hobbit early on the opening gambit towards Connector, so he'll fall. FaZe looking for a stab in the dark as well. There's a bit of time to play with here. They were shuffling the utility on the back of the site, so he tries to clear it, looking for a freebie frag, but nothing comes his way.
Move back into mid from Big. Shiro with the MP9. Needs to be a little careful, but the MP9 is so good close quarters. He gets the fight at the right time, takes a dink through. Eventually, FaZe finds the trade, but still, Cloud9 staying on top.
At this point, it's a 4 versus 2. You can really just play the long-range angles. You know you've got the better weaponry for this. And that trade game is always in the back of your mind. FaZe, he's got the bomb, and he will attempt to link up with Hyped and then stake their claim towards the B bomb site. Could be an opportunity for the timing, but really it relies on Hobbit. Yeah, first contact on the angle, spams up FaZe, leaving him on 14 HP, relays the information to the rest of the team. They can set themselves up. Buster watching from the connector, but his head's been blown off. The Deagle starts to make you think maybe there's a chance to keep this round alive. Bomb planted now.
Team's getting the bomb down is impressive in this position. I think FaZe might have too much to do. He gets close to another kill, but Axel able to run him down. So Cloud9 stay on top, but a couple of kills for Big and a bomb plant. And that means they should have a little bit of an investment into this next round.
All the difference the one Deagle shot makes, right? A lot more money to work with. And you're in a world of pain. If you just get sprayed down there by Hobbit, you lose both of the players, no bomb plant, nothing to really work off. We wouldn't see as much elation, as much stress being removed from the big camp already in the responsive round.
Definitely got to have eyes on FaZe as well. We saw the stats earlier. He's actually the lowest rated for Big so far throughout the RMRs. And he's normally someone who can have a lot of impact with early round plays. Here are Big moving over to A early, and they're going to go straight through the flames here.
Through the fire and the flames, but Axel, he really can be a dragon force in the back of the site. Quick trade, FaZe on the Mac 10. Slays him.
Wow.
Bomb being planted as well.
This is a pretty good position. Keto's going to get the rifle. Do they want to fight forward? The smoke helps, but Nafany gets a kill before it blooms.
Nafany playing around this, pushing up, but he's been dinked on the edge of the smoke. FaZe caught some timing, works with it, but now just 2 players trapped on a bomb site. The 1M4 of tabseN has to go massive. It needs to be a gargantuan round, but he's been slammed down by Shiro, all on Crimbo. Back at the bomb site with a Deagle, hits 1. Left in the 1v1 now. Shiro jumps up on top, and the movement catches him. Crimbo not able to win out there.
Close from Crimbo. Shiro having to jump up on top. That is not a comfortable position to be in. You never know if you're going to get the chance to get your shot off when you're just jumping in midair like that. And it was a really nice call from Big. There was only the one CT on A, so the fact that they extinguish the molly and just go so quickly clearly catches Cloud9 off guard. Cloud9 still able to recover, but Big already showing us some signs of the competitive nature they're going to make in these rounds.
And they've shown us some good looks on Anubis as well. One of the ways they really force their hand into the game is off the back of Hype's AWP. And he's been able to don it. They finally got the funds for this with the double bomb plant, and he's looking to control the connector.
Tabsa moving up mid. There is a challenge here from Cloud9. It is Nafany tucked into the corner. Elsewhere, Quito using this molly, which you'll see so often, but Hobbit's playing ahead of it. He wants this fight, and Quito caught off guard.
Nafany looking down middle. Good for the 1-for-1, but no commit on the spray, and Favon slays him, leaving it in a 3 versus 4 with map control being pushed and fought for by Cloud9. You've bled out from the B bomb site. You're close towards middle, and this is going to get messy. Hyped on the AWP, quick for the first shot. Dives back. Same can be said about Shiro as he recoils and sets up, looking for the distance.
Ended up being nice timing from Hype to look back. And now Shiro does have to bail completely. He's too scared of a potential flank, and for good reason, because Crimbo was looking for him. 38 seconds here. Favon is so far up mid, but they've got to get the bomb to a bomb site, and they're still so spread out. Axel's pushing A main. He could drop the bomb.
Axel, the Annihilator, could leave this round dead in the water. He's going to be in a prime angle. 20 seconds on the clock. He'll be behind them. They have no reason to clear this. He'll hear the audio cue of them dropping down. He can turn and burn them. Hyped. He's gone for the slow drop. Wants to try and clear the angle, but 13 seconds left. This is looking rough as Axel denies it.
That's it. Nothing Favon can do, and he even goes down. Cloud9 off to a fantastic start here on their CT side. And this is a bit of a switch up in the veto from Big. These teams played fairly recently, and Big actually went for the Inferno pick last time. And they were able to win it, but it was a really close map. So Big have tried something slightly different here, even though these teams played fairly recently. I think Anubis is kind of a punish pick, is what they're going for here against Cloud9. But Cloud9 have started really strong on this CT side.
They've come out swinging. The animal released from the cage already. And Favon, he's going to need the animalistic tendencies in this one. The claws have to come out as they're walking through the smoke, and Nafany's just playing on this. They want to work together here. The one rifle has a bit of backup. Can it actually find any impact?
Oh, fantastic flash. Forces them to drop down. And now Hobbit will be very aware that his position could be pressured. Oh, he has actually not. He turns away. This is danger now.
Oh, it was not an unexpected journey for Hobbit. He knew exactly where they were coming from, but Buster puts the foot down. Nafany looking for the re-aggression as well. Holding now. He's got a prime angle for the crossover. They've calmed about the bomb, so he knows he can hit the headshot for free. Axel, meanwhile, keeps the carnage coming, and Quito cannot repeat history with the dig.
Cloud9 on fire early on Anubis. And if you haven't been keeping up with this map lately, it has been very T-sided. So the fact that Big have got off to such a slow start on their T side is a real concern for them. Frustration already showing. Oh,
hello.
There we go.
Bit of a stretch on that one.
Yeah, you got there eventually. But yeah, Big needs something here. They have the buy back now. Looks like they'll take things slow again in this gun round.
Early nade, dashed in. Nafany playing towards close mid as per usual. Big HE as well. Oh, tons of damage distributed early on to the big players. Hype's also holding for an aggressive play in case there's a bit of an info gathering maneuver towards the B site. When he go challenge, he can hit that shot on the AWP and look to get them opening into this round with the initial duel going their way.
Flash in through mid. FaZe, the man so often in the front lines for Big. Tries to jump across, but Nafany wins that duel. He has been dominating this mid position. 9 kills now for Nafany. Off to an excellent start here. And Big's opening move doesn't work out for them. Now they've got to find another way into this round.
They bolstered the defense as well. Shiro's there on the AWP. Keto, he's good to cause conundrums in the connector. We've seen him do it a few times already, and now he's armed with a rifle and the rest of the squad supporting him. They group up and go for the wolf pack. The execution into B. Again, it's a late round though. 24 seconds on the clock. Buster could be all the difference they need for Cloud9, and as they execute out Nafany in the back, stabs onto Keto, tabs him with the trade. Actually good for 2. Starts to make you think this round could be made up for Big, but the bomb's dropped. Goes flying into connector. 9 seconds on the clock. Everything was in the palm of their hands, but now they're getting palmed off as Axel beats them down. Hyped with that last second shot. Clutches it out.
Huge shot from Hyped, because that would have been a disaster for Big. The fact that the bomb goes tumbling into that position completely unnecessarily was so scary. That was Tamsin doing the work initially, but that's the moment you wonder whether the round could have gone against them. Hype keeps his cool, and Big have something to get excited about.
What a response from Hyped. If there ever was a shot that would wake Aurora up and get the team thinking, okay, we still have a fighting chance. We're not 6-0 down. It's just 5-1. We can build from it. Because that was a great round, right? But the bomb betraying them as it flies into connector. And you're watching Axel's crosshair thinking he knows how to deal with this every single time. He's so crisp with it. He's so sick with it. But Hype's AWP denies that. And Big take their first timeout. God B gives his input.
Yeah, and for Big, they're clearly trying these late round plays. They want to try and outmaneuver Cloud9 heading into the mid and late round. But so far, it has looked uncomfortable for them in these late round positions. Cloud9 do have some limitations in their buy for this round, though. You can already see a couple of weaker weapons in the mix. But that AWP of Shiro is so important for this team. He's still got that in hand. Flash out. Standard nades being traded here for both sides. FaZe has been given freedom to look for early fights by himself. It looks like in this round, Big again want to focus on this mid area of the map. Seems like that's been a real focal point for them here early on this T side. See if Nafany can stop them again, because he's had a great start for Cloud9, but he rotates away because of that smoke.
Oh, an awkward encounter for FaZe. Dink down to 24 on the UMP, so he gets away at least with the frag on the Buster. Same cannot be said for Axel, executed by Tabson. Shiro, now the round relies on him. 40 seconds on the clock as he backs off to reposition. Quick pot shot, Hawker, but no connection.
Yeah, that's tough. Shiro needed something. His teammates had already gone down, and it's a nice little round from Big there. You see that they're able to pressure through mid, but really it's that smoke over towards the other side of the map that's so helpful for them. Just draws the attention away from mid, forces Axel to try and respond and cover off that position. And as soon as he falls, Shiro realizes he's in an uncomfortable spot. It's also great having FaZe hold outside that B side of the map, making sure that they keep that map controlled despite Cloud9's attempted aggression. And this time, Big will win a round with everyone surviving. That'll be nice for them. Build up a bit of money in the bank.
Get the cream. Start to build up those paper stacks. For Cloud9, though, again, it's a round where it felt like there was some key moments that could have gone their way. It's better for Big, though, if they can actually get mid control, if we can start to see them conditioning Cloud9 so that Nafany can't play the advanced angles he's felt so free to do. Could change the pace. Timeout being called in for them as well. And you're massively leading here, but as soon as you lose 2 rounds like that on the spin, you might as well use it even just to ice out Big a little bit and figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, just making sure that they have a moment to breathe here on the Cloud9 side. I think Axar was hoping Shiro was able to move over to help him a little sooner there. You kind of saw Shiro arriving to try and cover off mid just a little after Axile. So maybe just trying to figure out the coordination completely. Cloud9, though, with a couple of weaknesses into this round. They still have some rifles in play, though. And that means they might try and take a risk in this round. Stacked pretty heavily towards A early here. And allow this aggression.
And you can use those pistols as basically a way to bait the crosshair off the angle. Send them in first, sound the alarm, then peek with the actual rifles you've got. Axar, Shiro, and Hobbit sporting the 3 real guns into the round. B site completely open as well. Big don't know this, though. They're just applying early pressure, so the rotation's arriving.
Yeah, Cloud9 basically just get that AWP of Shiro established on an angle over on A. They use rifle support to help that, and now they can rotate back to B and have players in position on the right bomb site.
Axar, they're going to be the first contact here, but Hobbit put on a pedestal and he punishes as he pops off with 2, striking against Tabson and Favon into the back line. It's Keto, but it's a no-go as Axile will stop him then and there. All on Crimbo and Hypes now with a final 44 seconds. Crimbo, good for 2, drops the Molotov to block the push as well. And this is a very low Cloud9 team, burning in the flames as well. They're peeking into him. He's just going absolutely nuclear. The man's cleaning up. Mop and bucket. It's all on Crimbo. 28 seconds left on the clock. Peeks back in, and he's going to finish it off. That is an unbelievable round from Big.
There's no way Crimbo wins that. Get loud, son. You deserve it. That's a 1-on-5 for Crimbo. It all went so horribly wrong initially, but 1v5, Crimbo finds the first 2 in quick succession, and then they try and peek him, but he just dismantles them, and he keeps his cool at the end, goes back to an angle to reload. Look at the reaction. Crimbo can't quite believe it himself.
Oh, he is ecstatic. Drops the scream as well. That's what you want to see because it was mean. It was absolutely obscene. That is an insane round for Big. A notorious one to remember. Crimbo getting into the minds of Cloud9 already.
I mean, listen, it probably shouldn't have got into that position in the first place. It was a round where Cloud9 only had 3 rifles. But they did a great job at getting them activated, at boosting them up, at getting them into the right positions. And so Crimbo required in the clutch, the most clutch player this year, based on overall clutches won at the top level, does it for Big in that round. Now they've got to keep their cool. They're going quick in this one.
Oh, the MAC-10 of Crimbo denied instantly, and they have run straight into the abattoir defense of the A site, turn into just chunks of meat all over the floor. Off the back of the hype you had in that prior round, now all of a sudden you're staring death in the face. A 2 versus 4 as Tabson at least finds 1 kill back onto Buster.
Oh man, Hyped is sitting in the smoke as it fades. Just having those 2 players there over on A main early for Cloud9, it makes it brutal for Big. You saw Crimbo barely got a chance to react with his MAC-10. And Shiro is even moving in behind. Big trying to switch up the pace. They've gone for that A play a couple of times now. This time it gets stopped in its tracks. They don't have a molly for Hobbit's position either. And Hyped will instead focus towards the site. Problem is, as soon as he fires, Hobbit might just swing. Indeed, he does. Tabson able to trade here, so it's actually somewhat doable now in the 1-on-2. Tries to fake out that bomb, but no one fighting from the Cloud9 side. Tabson aware of the possible flank, but Shiro has no need to make the move. They'll just wait for Tabson. He has to plant, and Cloud9 know it. Eventually, Axel plays his angle to perfection. Cloud9 instantly bounce back, and for Big, that's got to be a bit frustrating. You just win an incredible round, you go for a quick one in the next, and you get shut down so early.
Tabson, the way he was playing it, looked like he had a great read on the round, understood the win condition in the clutch there as well, clearing out towards the rear. The Shiro, the scalpel, the silent assassin who was always there as the fallback plan, didn't even need to play his card. Instead, they find the frags on the site, and that's a 6-3 split on the scoreline. Shiro already looking for the early contact on mid as well. Let's have a quick look at some of these KDs as well, man. You've got Axel, 12-4 at the minute. Nafany, 12-5. He's been unbelievable in the opening duels towards middle. 2-0 for them. Cloud9 just looking like they're on a whole nother level.
Yeah, they look very strong right now. I mean, the fact that one of Big's rounds was a 1-on-5 kind of tells you all you need to know. I'm still in awe of that. 1v5s are so rare. I mean, I know he trades pretty quickly, but it still counts as a 1v5. Gonna see Shiro get inquisitive. Ooh, good shot onto Tabson down below. No chance for the trade. That AWP in the right place at the right time. And Buster just playing that supportive role. Puts the incendiary down.
Attempting to collapse back on the B bomb site as Keto comes in with a first shot. Miss from Shiro as well. Reposition, 40 caught an angle, but suddenly all the bullets are landing, and Cloud9, it's a very rainy day for them. The clouds have moved and opened up space for Big as they've got control. They're in post plants, the AK in the hands of Keto as well, and they might not even fancy their chances in this one. The cash is going to be rough. You don't want to throw away the 2 rifles so you can bolster the buy into the next. So Big, off the back of those 3 kills, secure the 4th.
Man, that's crazy, because you're walking into a bomb site. I mean, sure, there's an MP9 in there, but you feel like there's a rifle and an AWP at the back of the site who are just going to lock it down. Shiro misses that first shot, and then once he tries to repeat, they've already come out down below. The rifler wasn't watching that. Hobbit was trying to play that backside position. So they were relying on that AWP to take the first contact, and Shiro, unfortunately, missing that opportunity. And for Big, well, some brilliant shots. We were wanting to see the firepower come through from them to match up against Cloud9. They're starting to show us glimpses of that here. Big round from Keto. Gets his second kill. That's the AWP gone.
And we've been talking about Keto a lot, right? We had that interview with him yesterday. You can see how much it means to him. The raw passion, the raw effect of Counter-Strike, the reason why we love this game, the reason why everyone plays, the immense pressure that they're all under competing here in the last chance qualifier, and he is delivering with that pressure. Again now, defaulting back towards the B site. Want to fight for controller, connector, and Hobbit will fall.
Now, this round should be a fairly comfortable one for Big, although there are a couple of rifles still in play for Cloud9. Keto having a great round here, cleaning up on all these angles. Starting to really showcase what he can do on this team. It has been so nice seeing Keto in great form. He's honestly putting up star numbers right now at this tournament for Big. And we're definitely seeing the highs and lows for a lot of teams throughout this tournament. It's just so nice to see. And even when you see the disappointments, it's because you can understand how much it means to all the teams here. And so it is still important to look at those moments and realize it's for the love of the game. Shiro might get an AK, but Favin wraps around the side, so just Axel saving this time. Big finding their way in here, though. They've definitely stepped it up in recent rounds.
Man, the history that's been unfolding at the RMR as well, right? Because it's not just the fact that you're competing to potentially be in the last major of the year. It's also the last major in Global Offensive. We'll then move into Counter-Strike 2. Things are going to be a whole different world out there. So we'll stay focused with where we are for now. It's a 6-5 Big, keeping the game alive on the first map of Anubis. This is their pick. You'd hope that they've got some tricks up their sleeve on the T side. And a buy for Cloud9. Doesn't have enough funds to sport the AWP once again for Shiro. So a full rifle setup with Hyped being the only AWP on the server.
Yeah, Big do need to keep on delivering here on this T side, because I'd say with Cloud9 already having 6 CT rounds, that's already a pretty decent position, and Hobbit takes the risk behind the back of the smoke. It pays off for him. Keto trying to take that ground back, but Hobbit wins yet another fight, and Cloud9 looks set for success in this round.
Hobbit's journey isn't over. He still wants more door frags as he pushes up close, grabs the AK and backs off now. Favon looking over the top of the smoke as well, hoping there is a 6-foot-tall man at the back of the bomb site. But no one's tall enough for this. Hyped is here to support as well. They've got tons of util, but only 45 seconds left on the clock, Walker.
Ooh, Molly into Buster's position. They will have heard that. They've also cleared out that close left side. This is now a little obvious. Cloud9 should be prepared on the whole, but Hobbit goes down. Now Buster feels uncomfortable. He has to move forward, but Hyped ready for him. Out of nowhere, Big find a couple of entries into this bomb site. There is still Shiro sitting, lying in wait, and that time is starting to become an issue here. Big know they've got to get that bomb onto the site. I don't know if they know about Shiro, though. They have no idea. He denies, and there's simply no time. They have to play for elimination, but it's not doable. Cloud9 steal away the round. All they need is Shiro, the sneaky devil in the back of the bomb site.
Waits until the right moment to strike, and the boa constrictor of Cloud9 sucks the oxygen clean out of the lungs for Big as they move on to a 7th. They kept it competitive as well. The trade back from Connector, you're thinking, okay, now you've got a bit of space. Crimbo looking like he's given you a lifeline, especially when Hyped hits the AWP shot on the close angle as well. But time was of the essence, and they were not ready for Shiro's surprise.
Nice Shiro surprise for Cloud9. I don't think Big will have enjoyed it. Oh, double nade being lined up. That could do work here. Hobbit moves forward, so not too much damage done. Cloud9 this time with standard setup to start the round. Putting 2 towards mid, though, instead of the 3B stack we've seen previously. I think Shiro will now start to adjust. That AWP will come back to the B bomb site. Big again, very happy to play the clock. They've used a fair amount of utility early in this round. As it stands, Cloud9 have 2 players on this A side of the map. They're a little scared of the mid split, though, because they don't have mid control. So Axel, the only player really focused on A main right now.
Axel drops the smoke just as they're playing contact on a walk-ups. The Crimbo uses the opportunity to swing. Nafany on the off angle, slaying and spraying. Claps his way through 2 of them. But they bought enough time, they've created enough space, and Hyped was looking back towards T-Spawn. That's just a tag onto Hobbit. He has to switch to the P250 and pop him, but he's struggling. This is buying a lot of time. It's making it awkward. Eventually, commits on the kill. The CTs now might want to back off from this. They went for a boost up over the smoke. There was nothing for Shiro to see. Buster plays close just in case they push in, but now they're recoiling. A 6th round will be guaranteed for Big.
Yeah, sometimes you know when it's time to go in your gut. And Cloud9 realize this round is just too unlikely after losing that one player, putting them down in a 2v3 retake attempt. Solid round from Big, though. It's all about that Crimbo entry, really. It was a big decision there. Does he push through the smoke? He decides to do so. That means he really has to win that fight against Axile. He does exactly that. And the rest of Big then are able to get out through the smoke. Yeah, I think you can see Axel knows how important that fight was. Just resigned to the fact that he lost it.
For Cloud9 now then, the knock-on effect is you've only got what you carried over from the prior round. Shiro, what can he find? Early on towards middle station does the defender. Looking to lock it down. And this is just USPs as well. No real utility either. That was the only smokes they had thrown out. Ooh, oof. Oh,
Okay.
hello. Hype's coming back in.
Solid shots. Bomb's been left behind, and Axar wins that fight. A bit awkward for Big, but they still have smokes if they need them. I think they're just going to continue to hold here. Nice work from FaZe. Shiro in the clutch, maybe a possibility. Hyped is so trained on his angle, though. Yeah, he needed something to come to him there, Shiro. So realizes it's time to back away, try and save for the last round of the half.
So Shiro saves on to his scope. Still plays on a nice little pixel peek angle as well.
Such a cheeky angle.
It is filthy. Pixel sniffing on the Kurt angle. But will he be able to lay the smack down? No one wants to contest, so he will get away with the AWP. He'll be happy with that at the very least. But the game will go 7-7. So big, considering the start we had here with, what, 5 rounds on the spin for Cloud9? This is a lot better of a half.
Yeah, it's a very solid recovery here from Big. I think they've had a mix of nice takes on bomb sites, nice clean rounds, and then some where the individuals have stepped up, which has to happen sometimes. This is just hype. The smoke fades. Cloud9, I think, slightly misjudging when that smoke was going to fade, and that ends up being costly. It is still a scenario where Cloud9 have a solid CT round haul on Anubis, though. And we can see an update from the B stream. These two teams competing for the final legend spot. Looking good for Vitality over there. Over here, though, last round of the half. And a bit of early damage onto Hyped.
And this could be a huge swing round to affect the momentum. It's a full buy for either side. So if you pick this up, get that additional 8th going into the pistol. It makes the world of difference, especially with how fine the margins are here at the RMR.
This last chance qualifier, so important for both these sides. You heard it in the interviews ahead of the game. Just over a minute left on the clock for Big. Cloud9 have stuck with their similar setup. 2 towards B, 2 towards mid. They will have a fast rotate, but Big already committing nades into this B site. Ooh, big gap there. FaZe will try and look for fights.
He's found his way in, but this time it's Hobbit in a prime position. He's tucked back into the angle Shiro was playing previously, but they will be aware of it. Won't matter though, he still gets one before he's sent off to the Burns ward, and it's Hype that cannot ward off any more of the big clan. All on Grimbo. Can he do it once again and repeat history here on a B bomb site? This time it's harder. They've got guns and he's only got 25 seconds. Switches out to the AWP. Knows he's got to get this plant at some point, trying to bait them to challenge him. Sees the AWP of Shiro, but he's quicker, as they will get the 8th round at the end of the first half. Where's this going to go in the sequel? Join us for that after the break. A tight half, 8-7, with Cloud9 edging it out in the dying moments. But this game's been delivering a little bit of a slow start for Big, but they really are looking rip-roaring and ready for the second now, Hawker.
Yeah, I feel like we saw the game start to get a little more competitive as it went on. I think both teams warming up into this series is the way I'd put it. But Big have got to warm up pretty quickly here. It is their map pick right now. And they're switching over to the CT side. Normally more difficult to play the CT side on this map, and they are down. So Big need to step it up here. They've got some early utility to try and gain ground. And they've gone 1 for 1.
And this is wild. They are swinging into it immediately, and it's caused the rotation and reaction into the A site, but this is looking lethal as Hyped claps in with 2. The dual Berettas finding stereo frags, and all of a sudden, it's just Shiro in a 1v4.
Well then, Big's aggression works out for them, and over towards B, really, it's just a brutal attempt from Cloud9. Oh, okay, Shiro might still have something to say about this round if they fight him 1 by 1. He has a minute left on the clock, and Shiro loves to try and play with the mind games, so he won't give away his position. And that means Big have to be aware of all options here.
He's gone silent. Left them guessing. Started to reposition so he can't be caught slipping in a bad spot here. 35 seconds left on the clock with the money P250. Can he farm up some cream into this round and get the Skrilla he needs? Hyped already. Picked up 2 frags with those dualies. Is there a third to be in store? Bomb on a close left angle as well as he goes in. Gonna have about 19 seconds as this smoke fades, and this is where it's gonna get iffy. Tabson is watching for the peak. He'll be first contact, and he will not miss that bullet.
Really nicely done from Big there. Instead of just trying to hold all angles individually, they figure, you know what, there's not that much time left now. Let's just go ahead and clear out one of these angles. Let's clear out down below and make sure that it's just too tricky for Shiro to clear out all those positions. Okay, go.
Hey,
Hello.
God B.
Weird.
All right, hell yeah. That's what you want to see from God B, man. Missed having this guy on our screens. And it's a little bit more lighthearted. It looks way better for Big, considering some of the emotions we had seen. And Cloud9 used their third of the 4 tech pauses here to have a chat about what they want to adjust. Shiro looking very vocal.
Yeah, Shiro loves to talk on this Cloud9 team when they're in game. You can see he's very passionate about what he wants the team to do. And I guess he wants them to eco in this round. Makes sense. Weren't able to get that bomb down. Shiro has picked up a dig for himself. Maybe a bit frustrated that he didn't get much of a chance in the pistol. So he'll look for some headshots here instead. I don't mind all the MP9s on Big either. I think they're aware this should be a save they're up against.
Tabson just jiggling for the info towards middle. You mentioned those MP9s. They could be singing a siren song, trying to draw in Cloud9 towards connector here, because that's an absolute meat grinder. Focus is set on the B site. Here's first contact. Hobbit runs on up, tries to draw in the peak for Axile to assist, but it can't be done as Hyped will frag him.
And the MP9, the best instrument for the job right now. They will play to the same tune and clean up the round. Big back into the lead. Cloud9 will now have their buy at the ready. So we'll see what Big decide to do here. They either stick with those MP9s and take this as a bit of a bonus, or have to upgrade. And I think most teams would pretty much always want to just stick with the SMGs in this sort of round. They're definitely viable, even against the rifles. The little MP9 can do a hell of a lot in the right position. And yeah, they are going to keep 4 MP9s here on the Big side. So we'll see how they decide to approach this round. Flash being lined up from Faven. Thing is, you have to time that so right. If you want the MP9 to swing, be long, they've got to be up close.
The range advantage is definitely in the camp of Cloud9, but the information is gathered for free. Quick swing outside of B. You read that and you can back off towards middle as well. Chip damage coming in, but Nafany tries to get ahead of it. Wanted to repeat what he was doing on the CT side, but they're sidestepped by Hobbit with the kill onto Quito.
This area of the map is massive to get control of. Now this B site feels vulnerable. You know you can get split from 2 sides. Faven trying to do what he can, but Hobbit sneaking into the smoke, hits the headshot. And now Tabson with that one rifle, needs to fight back. He brings it back with 2 kills, and Big have the man advantage now.
Terrifying breakneck speed turn from Tabson to give himself 2 frags into the round and force the issue into the A site. Crimbo wanted to get up close with the SMG, put it to good use, but it couldn't be done. And this is prime for Axile. He's just running in and causing carnage, creating all the space they could dream for. And Tabson now forced into an awkward clutch round, and he is beheaded by Axile.
Damn, that final shot so sharp. Axile had a feel that he could just completely catch the big players off guard before they rotated, and he got there just before they seemed to expect him. Winning that first fight opens the door. Big unable to close it, so Axile really coming up clutch there for Cloud9. They needed him to deliver. thing is, that was the bonus round from Big. Now they get rifles aplenty on board, including an AWP for Hyped. So Cloud9 have got to keep their heads in the game here.
And Hype's AWP on CT side and Ubis is actually really impactful. Some of the rounds I've seen from this guy, they can swing you into a way better spot. Crimbo, though, talking of positions, he's going to be up close and personal. Tries to get the contact to back off, wanted to play with the nades, but instead slays with the SMG. But they've taken the site. Hyped, meanwhile, earlier in the round, was able to at least find one frag on the AWP, but he was dinked down to 44 HP, and they're funneling themselves in. You thought it was just Tabson on a solo mission, but he completes that one, putting the bullet to the brain. Shiro, with the trade back, leaves Tabson insane in the round, and it's not looking good as they're all going down. Shiro has to clutch onto this. There's the Hype's AWP in the back, takes the pot shot, but misses it. Quick flick down on a wall bang, and Big recover.
Couple of key fights in that round. I think it's massive that Crimbo's actually able to get at least one kill on the hold, because it looked like he was in a really uncomfortable position. So credit to him with the MP9 initially. And then Axar tries to play forward again, and we saw what he could do in the previous round when he pushed up, but Tabson won that fight against him. That gave Big such an advantage.
Nice!
And they make the most of it. Solid retake from Big, working together wisely and getting back into a good position here. This CT side showing some strength now.
And Hyped, after moving on to the CT side, he's won 2 opening duels. He's 3 for 1 in them in the grand scheme of the game. And that can make all the difference. For Cloud9 this time, stationed heavily towards A in the opening gambit. You don't want to leave yourself. Trying to play for that split and pick towards B. Molotov being traded. Smoke down as well to block off the angle, and Nafany wants to play right on the edge with a Mat 10.
Man, it's interesting how much Cloud9 have been focusing on this A side of the map early. Normally, if anything, I feel as though that B site is more commonly tested by teams on their T side. Oh no, Hobbit able to spam through. Keto makes a bit too much noise. That's going to keep the pressure on the other side of the map, but they're grouping to A. Oh, and Crimbo's actually leaving right now. I mean, maybe the AWP will pick up the position, but it's still really difficult here.
The longer this game goes on, the more it looks like it's going to be a slobber knocker with how they're trading rounds. But Hyped, he's got to stand tall at the back of the site, finds the first adjustment onto Nafany, repositioning as well, paranoid about the peak, up on top of the elevated angle, spanning through the smoke. It's Buster. That's 2 frags without even seeing anyone into the round for Cloud9, and it's made a world of difference. Faven, eyes in the back of his head, realizes this, but he's still going to be left dead as Hobbit with the SMG strikes against him. Tabson, he's got to have a monstrous round now, Hawker.
Oh, it's still winnable. If he can clear this first man out, he has good information. He knows Buster could be trapped on the site, but it's so hard to clear that. Oh, maybe the bait and switch will work out for Cloud9 here. Tabson seems to think the site is completely cleared. He's flushing out all these angles, but Hobbit hits the headshot. It looked doable for Tabson, but so hard to read that there's a second man behind the site. That's exactly why Cloud9 double stack there. And this has got all the makings of a map that's going to go down to the wire right now.
Yeah, this feels like the full 30 round should be on offer. 10-10, all tied up. You can see both of the teams here trying to keep themselves focused into the game, but it won't be as easy for Big in the 21st as the money has burst. You've just got Deagles.
Yeah, and you do just wonder whether Cloud9 could start to take over now. Big have invested a fair bit into this round. They don't have much money left behind. It feels like Cloud9 are in the advantageous position right now. And Hobbit just goes contact. Has to clear the corner, does so. There are still players on the site that he's got to be careful about, but he finds the second. And as soon as that happens, I think this round should be done. Good damage onto a couple of players. Just a shame they can't convert onto the kill on either of them.
No nades as well, so you can't dash out a HE to be able to create space to make a play. Crimbo on the face, hoping he would be able to slay, but it's Tabson that does the damage on Axile. Grand scheme of the round, though, not really much you can do from this. They send Crimbo off to try and scavenge a weapon.
Tabson sees a rifle in front of him, I believe. Don't know if he's going to be able to get them from the bomb site, though. Especially not now that Shiro's landed that shot. And Crimbo won't find anything at the end here, and you see Big still in a scenario where their money isn't good enough. Maybe the economy will be too far against Big here. Cloud9 starting to control this now. Tabson really leans into his monitor, huh? Gotta be very animated here. Second timeout taken. Yeah, you can see it's clear that him and Tabson are the ones that are getting communicated to here. Those two definitely have a good understanding. Tabson ever present on this big roster.
Really is synonymous with the brand. Tabson on his journey to attempt the save and reinvigorate German Counter-Strike. And at the minute, they're proving that they can take Cloud9 the distance. It's about winning it, though. This is your map pick, and in a best-of-3 environment like this, with the other maps we've got left, it could get risky if they fall to the wayside on Anubis, especially with Vertigo being the second in the series. And here, they've got nothing really to go on. It's just pistols that are pulled out.
Yeah, this is tough for Big. This round looks unlikely. And then the pressure will start to mount in the next. And something from Hype. The drive-by comes through. And Buster, blinded, decides to fall back. Shiro not able to land his shot either. So that allows Big to recover a rifle at least. Looks like that bomb will start to move over to B. And that kill from Hobbit makes this very comfortable now for Cloud9.
But also aware that Hyped has the AK. So he's just going to try and back off, hold on to that. Pop out for Tabson. Couple of tags, leaving Hobbit on 65, but he will still be alive. And this is Cloud9 taking 12 then on the T side.
Update from the other stream. I'm pretty sure Vitality were up like 10-5 at the half.
Yeah,
and now they're losing 14-10. So that is a wild comeback from Monty. Sick to see Monty continuing to deliver. And of course, it's that man Boros, top of the board, top of the server with 26 kills. Man, Boros has just been a beast throughout this RMR.
It's insane, man. Boros the Butcher, his second ever RMR run.
This is a crazy streak from Monty, though. I think they've won 90 rounds in a row.
So both of the games we've got going on at the minute delivering today. This one, of course, deciding which one of the two teams will be solidified as legends in the last Global Offensive Major and who will compete as challengers. The difference of already guaranteeing yourself the top 16 and being in the arena live in Paris with the French crowd.
Big gun round here. They have been able to buy up. All out for Hyped rifles across the board. And they decide they do want to take some initiative early. Tabson having a look down below. He's trying to flank, but he doesn't realize Hobbit's on the other side. Crimbo trades, but he gets sprayed straight through the smoke.
Buster with a blockbuster kill puts them in pole position now in the round. Ooh, Faven. I do love the smoke. You can play around this. Nafany, is he ready with the read? Faven on the adjustment, puts himself up on the elevated peak. They're right next to one another, but they're not going to be able to spot each other out. Oh, he's going to walk in as well, starting to set his focus on the A bomb site now. just holds in case FaZe comes back. Should have heard the audio cue. Aggression into the site. Hyped. He's got to be the difference maker. Crosshair baited off the first Shiro with a fast trade. Bomb going down. Nathani will slay back onto Quito. And it is all about FaZe.
Oh, it's just too difficult to get back in here. He needed his teammates to do a little more. Hyped there in that unfortunate position where he lets the first man go, but he kind of thinks he wants to stray out for that kill. Eventually is able to flick back, but it means he's in this awkward committed angle that isn't really ideal for him. And despite Quito's best efforts of trying to get in from mid, as soon as he goes down, the round falls with him. And this is a round that Big really needed here. They're already on the back foot. They're already behind in rounds. The economy game also against them. And this opening move, it's risky to do anything into mid. And you see just that B-hop round the side. Make it as hard as possible to hit that first shot. And Tabson dropping down. I mean, he had no clue where Hobbit was there. Crimbo able to trade, but there's no cover in mid. You get spammed through. And Cloud9 able to convert.
Knock-on effect's going to be so deadly as well. The economy is completely thrown into the bin. FaZe, he's the only one with the scavenged rifle, the M4 he had into the previous round. Still in play. We're in round 24. Cloud9 are 3 pickups away from securing the first win on Big's map choice of Anubis. So this is where, if you've got anything left to display, Big, it would be the time to pull it out. We know they're mean with the Deagles. We've seen some clean connections from Tabson, but doing it against the 4x Hawker under the pressure you're at right now would be ridiculous.
They realize they need to take some risks in this round. Information gathered over towards A main. Cloud9 happy to run the clock down. Oh, Nathani actually falls on mid there. Tabson with a nice opener. And now Cloud9 will funnel into this A-bomb site.
Crimbo lying in wait, wants to strike. FaZe with the first bullet to the brain for Axel, and Crimbo, he's running it back. The Deagle Blaze lighting him up. Oh, he's gonna hit it straight to the face of Buster. Leaves him down in the dirt. It's all on Hobbit, but he will be in a world of hurt as Crimbo secures that one.
Wow, Crimbo anchoring that A-bomb site. Not an easy job that he delivers with the Deag. At the end there, gets the final trade kill as the cherry on top. And taking out Nathani at mid, that helps tremendously. It allows them to focus solely on that A side of the map once the push starts coming in. What a round that is from Big. And you wonder whether that could be a turning point here, because Big was starting to lose control of this one. Cloud9 had won quite a few in a row. They had the edge in the economy game. But Crimbo steps up. He's been delivering all map long for Big. Up to 19 kills now, top of the team. And these are so clean. Final kill, just a trade shot to the body. Beautifully played around the bomb site.
They took the pause as well, so Godby gave his input, and it seems like off the back of it, we've got a double AWP setup for the CT side. Crimbo sporting the secondary, the main man of Hyped, burning bright, but not in the way he wants. Lit up by the Molotov early as he tries to find the initial frag towards middle.
3-man B stack right now for Big. Cloud9 will look for this map control. Hyped actually re-aggressing on mid there to get into position. Hobbit will at least take that map control. So that opens up options for Cloud9. Takes away info from Big. Mid control, the next on the checklist for Cloud9. They haven't forced the AWP away, and now Big want to retake this control.
Quito, oh, he's been so crisp in the connector, especially in the first half, but here it's all about FaZe and the Fantastic as he frags his way through them and gets 2 kills on the board, leaving us in a 3 versus 3 with just under 44 seconds on the clock. Axile Roaming back, looking for the lurk in case there's any info plays from Big here. The bomb and support of Buster towards middle.
Yeah, it looked like Hyped got a little too eager there on mid. He was trying to get in behind on the B site, but Cloud9 still with time to work with. 25 seconds. Crimbo has just looked away from mid. Tabson will try and pick it up instead. He's got the angle. It's not an easy one to clear for Cloud9 here, and Tabson hits the first, traded instantly. Crimbo still in position. He drops the bomb, and that is it. The time was too low for Cloud9. And Big with another round win. This one is continuing to heat up here.
The Berlin International Gaming side looking like Mr. Worldwide as they're flying high. And this is what you need to see, keeping the game close here. The Cloud9 never putting their foot on the brakes, Hawker. Even in these rounds, it still feels like there's always a chance in the 1vx's for them. Shiro's just looking so crisp.
Yeah, we've got to see it deliver for round wins, though. Shiro maybe hasn't been able to get involved as much as he would want, considering some of the shots he's been landing. Only 13 for 11 right now. And final timeout taken for Cloud9, because this is starting to slip slightly for them in the last couple of rounds, especially there where the time was so low. And wow, that B-Stream game really getting close now between Vitality and Monte. Looking good for Vitality to get 15 first, though.
That's a good recovery for Vitality, right? Considering the last time we kind of checked in with how things were going. Monty really don't want to give up any of those chances to get that last spot as legends, but this could be a bit of a faster play. Look at the pace of this one. They dive on in. Crimbo caught with his pants around his ankles, but he recovers. Belt pulled up. Frag connect as Buster is dropped and Hyped. He's coming over as well. This is 2 AWPs on the site.
Yeah, a little awkward to have the AWP as the first rotator. And Shiro has found something. Hyped, though, fights ahead of the smoke. Bomb will be planted. Crimbo lands the shot. Now Cloud9 could be in trouble. They need to step up here. Axel playing down below. Oh, Crimbo swings in with the dig, and it's up to Shiro.
Shiro, he tried to re-aggress. He was walking in, but Hyped puts the pain straight into them as he hits the shot on the AWP. And this game is really delivering now. We're starting to get what we wanted to see from either of these two teams, Hawker. A tied-up affair with Big looking like they've got momentum. And for Crimbo, he's having a world of a game here. Man's living his movie.
Yeah, even when it looks like he's going to get caught off guard, he makes up for it. Plays it super patiently. Doesn't give away the fight. And you can see what Cloud9 are thinking there. They're thinking that because it's an AWP on mid and an AWP on A in a lot of these rounds, maybe they can just go for a really quick push, and it'll be hard for those AWPs to hold against multiple players pushing. But Big do just enough to get into the man advantage scenarios. Still the buy from Cloud9. But they have to find a solution here. Big just keep running the same setup. 3 on B early, Hyped on mid, Crimbo over on A. It's been working, why change it?
Dance of death, but the choreography goes slightly wrong as Hyped wanted to hit that shot at middle. Instead, using the utility to attempt the re-aggress. He's always so confident to go for the second fight. Wants to get stuck straight back into the round with the advanced angle being held.
It's so nice having him this far forward. Oh, he swings into them. It was almost a lineup. The Hyped will take the free frag anyway.
Could have been a 1-for-2 shot. Split him in half, it would have been some quick division. Instead, his decision is to back off and play a slower round. Play for the trades now, as you know the Hobbit is down, so it's just 4 Ts left remaining in the final 32nd of the 27th round.
They go for that smoke, but it's going to be an A split here. Cloud9, how are those mid players going to activate? They're going to go through their own smoke right now.
They divided themselves. This is what they forced themselves into, but they're picking up the pieces. You had to get the frags. That was the key to victory. Now you just need to plant the bomb. 7 seconds as Buster punches in the numbers, gets the bomb on the site, and there's just 3 players left for Big. And this round is not one they really fancy their chances in.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool way from Cloud9. I think the entire time here, they've been sitting and saying, how do we counter these 2 AWPs? We know it's this double AWP setup leaning towards this A side of the map. Surely there's a way we can deny this. They smoke themselves off at mid, and then that second smoke that comes through, it kind of causes panic for Hyped. You can see he's sitting there thinking, okay, I can't really let them lurk out here. It's going to be really hard to hold if they just lurk out on both sides of this smoke. So he tries to make something happen and just kind of gets caught. Once that smoke starts to land, it forces him to do something. He ends up getting caught off guard. And Cloud9 finally find the solution to this double AWP setup that had been such a problem for them. That's just a sick shot from Axel as well. And wow, Vitality there. Looks like they closed it out. At least in that first map. Oh man, Big. Oh, you're facing a potential 15, and they can't even get a proper buy together.
You've gone from the double AWP setup that is now just a double-edged sword on the economy because you don't have anything to invest into. 3 rifles, one of them a scavenged AK. Tabson, advanced angle here though, pushed up playing around the edge of the smoke. Thought he would get himself a free B, but he's taken down by Hobbit with this shot. Oh, good for 2 as well. And this is a really rough round. Big, they are in a living nightmare now.
Keto would have to go crazy on the B bomb site if they do indeed decide to push it. Hyped, looking to make a play. He's only got a P250 though. And Shiro, wise to the possibility, decides to go for the quick scope. Unable to land the shot, but that is a warning shot that Hyped will take and decide to reposition. This is still potential for Keto here with the AK. He could try and make something happen, especially with Hyped here to help. Cloud9 not committing yet. They're really liking to run the clock down here. Looks like the bomb's going to go back.
And they could funnel themselves into middle. Crimbo, he's been a lanimal. This man's been an absolute lunatic, and here on the angle, he hits the first as Axel breaks, the wheels come off, Shiro trades to silence them there. So again, manpower advantage. Hyped up close with a P250, spam down upon. He falls, and it's all about Keto now. He's got to come out of his cage and do something insane. Wants to peek as well. Crosshair placement nearly in the right spot, but Nafany will hit the shot, and that's match point, Hawker.
Yeah, Keto a little frustrated. I think he realized there was maybe a possibility he could get something going there, but not meant to be. Cloud9 lock it in. It's 15. It's 1 away from stealing away Big's map pick. Yeah, Keto knows there was a little window there. It would have been really hard to pull it off, but when they come to your bomb site and you have the AK, you want to deliver. Here's the buy from Big, though, and maybe some B aggression. Certainly scoped on an aggressive angle. Hyped hits the shot, but not the kill onto Hobbit.
That's a rough outcome.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, hello.
Denied.
It's all getting messy in the 29th.
Mid-control in play for Cloud9, but just using the utility to fake that mid-control. They're grouping back up outside B. We haven't really seen a round where they've hit with this sort of pacing. They might commit to this one earlier than their usual round. Tabson's rotating back to B, though. Oh, is it a commitment?
Oh, trying to ruse them. But Nafany, he just wants to abuse them. Hits the first headshot on the AK. Buster taking down Keto as well. This is really looking rough, at least. The fast flick from Tabson hits the man in the smoke, but Shiro again with a worldie of a shot. A fast face puts the bullet right between the eyes for Tabson, takes him down, and you can still bail out from this one. You've got 20 seconds. You know you can go for the quick rotation. You've got mid control with Axar now assisting, joining the pack. Hobbit's already on the site, and he can get all the way in, weaving through CT to completely cut off this rotate.
Oh, got their timings just about down. And Big are on the complete wrong side of the map. They have to go for this, but it's not looking good.
Hyped, he's not going to be ready. Why would there be a man so close in your face already in CT spawn as Hobbit has born themselves into another round here? 16 is just a few seconds away, unless Crimbo has anything to say about this, but he's walking into the face from Shiro, the hero of the game. He's been so sick with the AK, and again, he will blow the brains out as Cloud9 will secure that one. Oh, that was such a tight affair, so many twisting rounds, but in the end, Cloud9 secure it.